Okay, we're starting with the chapter sampling today. I'm going to define a few words here. Okay, what is the population? Any idea? What do I mean when I say population?
The amount like the total
Wait, I
number
can't hear you. Can you talk a bit clearly? Yes.
can you hear me now?
Better, yes.
Okay, so like the total number of people or items in like a specific situation, I guess.
Acha, if you actually I can't hear you properly, not clearly. I don't know why. The thing is that if you want to investigate something about a group of people, that group of people is called the population. For instance, if I give an example, if there's a small town and you want to find out the ages of the people, if you want to investigate on the ages or the lifetime of people living in that town, then the population is going to be every single person of that population. ठीक है ना? Or if you want to, population is the group which you want to study. Okay. um, and obviously if in case you want to study the population, if the population is large, generally if in case I want to just find out the math mark of a certain grade, for instance grade 7 math marks, then the population will comprise of all the students of grade 7. Okay, so that is not a problem. But if in case the population large, you want to investigate the earnings of a certain town or of a specific group of people in a certain town, then obviously the population is going to be large. And it's not actually easy to investigate and collect the data from every single member of the population. Okay, Acha, there are two ways to study it. One is to carry out a census. In the census, every single member of the population is investigated, or the data from every single member of the population is collected. Okay, but in a sample, we randomly choose a certain number of people or certain number of we collect data from a certain number of elements of the population, not necessarily people. It can be maybe it can be number of people, it can be about a certain fish, it can be investigation about a certain insect, it can be investigation about certain stamps which somebody has collected. It can be anything, it can be anything. So sample is actually if you collect data from a certain uh, 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 number of people randomly chosen. Okay. Now it's not always easy to to carry out a census. The reason being, if you collect data from every single element of the population, then what can be the disadvantages? It can be very time consuming. Okay. It can be very costly. There are more chances of error. Okay. And obviously, so it's difficult to collect data from every single group of the population. But generally, the governments, when they carry out the census to collect data about their people, uh, uh, like the government of Pakistan, it conducts a census. So it collects data from every single person about their marital status, about their salary, about their ages and everything. So that sort of data is really important to collect. Why? Because in that case, they can plan for the future, for the social needs and economic needs of the people. But it's not always a good idea to collect data from every single member of the population. So sample is carried out. Now, if you're collecting information from a sample, then you have to make sure that the sample has the same properties and characteristics just like the population. Okay? So if the sample does not have the same characteristic, obviously the data will not be unbiased. Okay? So the data will be biased in that case. Okay? For instance, if you want to collect data from you have information that the water in a lake is contaminated for some reason. So if you collect data from you collect random samples from the different parts of the lake. Okay, if you collect samples from the part of the lake which is actually contaminated only, then obviously this is not going to be a true sample. It will not show the true properties of the whole water of the lake. Okay, now so you have to collect samples which represents the population actually. So
Okay.
in that case, you have to collect samples from different parts of the lake so that every sample is a true representative of the population, and if not all, at least it possesses the characteristics of the same population. Okay, chalo, starting with how the book goes about the first exercise. If you choose, if you want to collect samples, then the best idea is to collect the sample from the random number table. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
This is the random number table. ठीक है. So for instance, if there's a company which has 1,000 employees and you want to collect data about you want to investigate about something from the employees. If you, for instance, collect data from the first 50 people and you want a random sample of 50 people. If you collect data from the first 50 people entering the company in the morning, then obviously this is not a true representative of the population. The reason being, these are the people who are coming early. Say, so the people who are coming late are not a part of this population. Or if you're just collecting information from the people in the labor union, then the people who are not a part of it are not a part of the population. So this sample is not going to be the true representative. So in that case, what we do, for instance, if there are 1,000 people in the company, we allocate them a certain number from 1 to 1,000, and then we use a random number generator, or this table, which is called the random number table. Okay? From this, you pick numbers, and those people or employees with those numbers will be actually a part of the sample. So this is to keep it unbiased. Okay, starting with the questions and the exercise. If you look at this, the first question, it says, use the random number table from earlier in this chapter to identify the first 6 numbers using the following criteria. 3-digit numbers starting at the top of the third column and reading across. Okay, if you look at the table, it says 3-digit number starting at the top of the third column and reading across. Okay. Top of the third column, the first number is 713. Then it's going to be 713. Then it's going to be 299. Then it's going to be 680. You understand how are we collecting the data?
Okay.
Then it's 324. And then it's going to be 430. Likewise, they have asked us to collect how many numbers? 6 numbers. Okay, the last number would be, I've collected 4 now. 5. So the next would be 623. Okay, you just have to, after you collect all the numbers, collect 1 or 2 extra numbers, and then if there is any repetition, you just have to ignore them. So yeah.
Okay.
Here they have not given any restriction onto the numbers. They didn't say you have to collect numbers from, say, 80 to 993, for instance. They didn't give you any restriction. It should be a 3-digit number. So you can collect all the numbers. The numbers, but there's no restriction, but obviously the repetition should be ignored. 3-digit numbers starting at line 6 of the first column and reading across. Line 6 of the first column, if you notice, line 6 of the first column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You will have to start from here. Okay. So 3-digit number, and going across meaning you have to go it this way. So it's going to be 0. You want 3-digit number, no? Okay. So the first thing is 039. You have to acknowledge because this is not a 3-digit number. Then we move on to 282. Then it's 239. Then it's going to be 992. Then it's 325. Okay. Then it's 799. Then it's going to be 209. You have to collect 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No repetitions. Okay, na? So this is how we do it. Just a minute. This is question number 1, the deep part. Okay, then I'm doing question number 2. It says, for it uses the random number table from earlier in this chapter to identify the first 4 2-digit numbers, starting at the top of the second column and only that column. Second column, only the focus is on the second column. Explain how Foredix obtains each of the following set of random numbers. Okay. Then just taking this table with me. Okay, so you have to tell them how did he get these numbers. Second column, if you notice, how did he get 35, 33, then it's 53, then it's 65. Are you getting it? He's
Yeah.
picking up consecutive or 2-digit numbers going down the column. Okay. Then if you
Yes.
notice the next thing, 35, 36, 80, 35, 36, 80, 28. So if you notice, he's just picking up the first 2 digits of the second
Column.
column.
The column. Yeah.
That's how he's going on. Okay, then it's 33, 80. I'm doing the last part, 33, 82, 22. So that way she's just collecting, if you notice, the first digit of every 33, he's made one number, then 82 is made another one, 22 is the third one, then 2. That's how he's going down and collecting 2 2-digit numbers. Okay?
Yeah.
Acha, when you, okay, fine. Let's move on to the next question.
Miss,
Yes.
does this the random like numbers, is it always just this table, or can they give any table?
Beta, you can even use a calculator for this. Do you know that?
Okay.
Random number ka, you have the button there and you can generate random numbers from there as well. Acha, not only that, you can take any table, aisa kuch nahi hai. You can use a log wala table also. Have you seen the log table? Generally, people used to use that log book. That was a very thin book where you can use, which you can use instead of the calculator to find out the logs of the numbers. So you can use that. It should be random numbers.
Okay.
But you know, as far as this table is concerned, isme I think they've kept, they've considered that every number should be. I mean, aisa na ho na a single digit is repeated so many times. So I think this table is already there and it is used in several books also. So you can use the same table.
Okay. Okay.
Because there is a chance कि हम कोई और टेबल लेते हैं. For instance, जो मैंने आपको बोला log वाली book use करके भी आप तो use कर सकते हैं. There is no restriction on that. But if you want the probability of each number to be the same and you don't want a certain number to be repeated several times and one number actually not repeating and 6 is being repeated a lot of times. So if you want that kind of a thing, then you should use this table only, because obviously they must have kept something to keep a check on this.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, it says Neheda wishes to choose a representative sample of 6 employees from the 78 employees of her place of work. Neheda considers taking as her sample the first 6 people arriving at work one morning. Give 2 reasons why this method is unsatisfactory. Because in this way, she is going to include only the people who are actually on work at time. Okay? And she's going to ignore the rest of the people who come late, or maybe people who are sick and they're not coming to the office, or people who are working part-time maybe. So she's not taking into consideration those. So those people do not have a chance of being selected. So when it's a fair sample or unbiased sample is the one where every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected in the sample. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It says Neheda decides to use the following method to choose her sample. She numbers each employee at her place of work and generates the following random numbers on a calculator. Okay. From these random numbers, she chooses employees 40, 47, these. Explain how she chose these numbers. Okay, if you notice 40 is here, 47 is here. Dekho beta. 40 is this,
Mhm.
47 is this, 63 is here, 32. That means she's picking up the last number of last digit of the 3-digit number and then the first digit of the next 3-digit number to make a double-digit number. And that's how she's chosen. Okay. Then she chose, say, 59, then she must have chosen 08 here. Yeah, so 8. So yeah, so you just have to explain that she's choosing the last digit of every single digit number as at the tens place, and then this first digit of the next 3-digit number at the units place, and making a 2-digit number out of it. I hope it's clear. Just have a look at question number 4, 5, 6. Let me know, shall I do it or shall I move on to the next exercise?
1 second, let me just see.
You've got the same book with you? I've sent you the PDF of this book only.
Yeah.
And previously you were using which book?
No, I was actually using the same book. I thought that you were
Oh.
going to send me the PDF of the other book, but I think you don't have that one, right?
I have actually 2 chapters of that book, but
Okay.
because I've scanned that, and that book is not generally available in the market. That's Nelson Thorns, and it's very, very expensive. I have the hard copy with me. Actually, I have 2 hard copies with me, but the thing is, I do not have a PDF, and the scanned file is a very, very heavy document which I can't send it to you. It's very difficult. I've tried sending it to people, but they say they can't download it. It's too heavy, and even it's taking a lot of space on my iPad. So better not use that. But I can, if in case you need a few pages of that, then I can send it to you by email or
Maybe just the
I
questions, because I think they're good questions in that book.
questions. I can do that. I can do that. So if
Okay.
you want it on a particular chapter, then you send it. You let me know. I'll scan it and give you the exercises only.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
explanations will be a very heavy document. Okay.
Okay.
Although I really like that book, the Nelson Thorns Valley book is an ideal book as compared to this book. This is not. I mean, I don't like this book. Seriously speaking, that is better. With some chapters, this is also good, not bad. Okay, it says I'm just quickly going through this. Okay. The manufacturer of a new chocolate bar wishes to find out what people think of it. The manufacturer decides to interview a sample of people. Describe the bias and the method used to select each of the following samples. A sample of people who have just bought the chocolate bar. These are the people who have bought it. That means these are people who will not dislike the thing because they like the thing. That's why they bought it. Right? Because he wants to find out the people opinion on it because these people must be liking it. That's why they're buying it. So this is a bias sample.
Yeah.
Sample people aged between 25 and 29. So he's considering only the young people. So he's not taking the people who are middle age or old age into account, and he's not even taking the children into account, their choice. Okay.
Yeah.
And we just discussed that an unbiased sample is the one where every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. The first 20 male shopping at a store where the chocolate bar is sold. Why male? He's not considering the females. Okay. So this is not going to be a random sample. Melek wishes to choose a sample of 4 students from a class of 16 students. The students numbered from 3 to 18 inclusive. Melek throws 3 fair dice and add the scores. Explain why this method of choosing the sample is biased. Can you tell me why?
To the 18, 3 fair dice and add scores. I'm not sure actually. I don't. How is it
Beta
biased?
dekho. I'm telling you, the reason being there, dekho, you can get a number 3 only when you get 1, 1 and 1 on all the 3 dice. But you can get the number, I'm just picking a number on my own, 12 for instance. You may get 12 when you get 6, 4 and 2 on the 3, or you may get say 5, 5 and 2, or you may get, so chances of getting this 12 as compared to 3 is more as compared, you understand? 3 only you will get when all the dice will show 1. But the score of 12 you can get with this, you can get it with 3, 6, and 3. So yeah, so every number has a certain probability of coming. So the probability of 12 is more as compared to 3. Do you understand? इसकी probability क्या होगी? It'll be 1/6 into 1/6 into 1/6, which is 1/216. But 12 में तो there are so many options. So every number has a different probability of, every score has a different probability. ठीक है?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
every score is not, that's why. I hope you understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Describe briefly how to use random numbers to choose a sample of 50 employees from a company with 712 employees. Okay. You have to choose. Okay, you number each employee from say 001 to 712, and then use the random number table, or you use the calculator version of the random number generator and select the people. ठीक है?
Miss, for the
This is the
calculator
best.
version, do we need the graphic calculator?
You want the same calculator which you have. You have the calculator?
Yeah, I have it. How do
ठीक है,
we do
you
it?
need, हाँ, there is a random number ka button here, which is the last button on the right row of the calculator. So yeah,
Is it
I
the,
have to see, I will have to search how to generate numbers for this. I'll tell you in the next class, or you can even search on YouTube how to find,
Okay.
how can we generate numbers with the random number button here. Okay, so let's not waste time on this. We can, if you get to know, let me know. If I'll get to know, I'll let you know. The distribution of sample means. Now see. Just a minute.